Hello everybody. So I'm doing the 2019 question 1 orthographic drawing. Now I know I'm fairly zoomed out on this, but I have to be because the drawing is just so large, okay? So first thing to say to you is that everything on this drawing must be done at a scale, of 1:4. So you're dividing every measurement by 4. Now I've kind of lightly set up my blue boxes. I'm going to go over it very heavy later on with this pencil, everything. So I hope you're able to see this and it's okay. The other thing to say to you that we have to put in an end view as well. Okay, so I've set up my kind of crates. The only thing that won't go in the crate, there's kind of a curve here at the top. I didn't know the height of that and I have to figure it out, but everything else will fit in the crate. Now, we'll start off. So when you scale down this, its radius 280 divided by 4 will be 70. Okay, now you don't know where the center of the circle is. You know it's somewhere on this line, but you would not know where to put your compass. However, they have given you this point and this point, okay, which are 19 mil each from each side. And how you go about finding out where is the center of a circle is like so. So if you have 2 points on a circle, right? And I know this is a very small circle, I've just done it for a demo, but let's say it's 70 mil from there to there. Usually you're used to putting down a dot and then drawing a circle in like that, okay, radius 70. But the same thing is true if you had the circle given to you on a printed piece of paper and somebody said that's radius 70, find the center. Well, if you set your compass to 70 and you swing an arc from here and you put your compass there then and you swing an arc from there, that would find you the center. Because any point on the circle, if it's radius 70, from any point will be from the point to the center will be 70, okay? If we swing 2 arcs, like I said, that'll find you the center. So I've set my compass to 70 here already. Putting it down there, swing there, and swing there, and that'll give you the spot. Now you'd kind of know it was on that there anyways, but when you get that point, put down your compass, and you can draw in that arc up there at the top, okay? The rest then, we're going to drive on with. So we know it goes out here to the side. And then it's going to come down here, all the way down from the top then to the bottom. And then we're going to measure in 5 mil from each side. The 5 mil is for the kind of the side bracing that holds this plant stand together, okay? And that runs right up from the bottom to the top. We can put in that there. Put that one there. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to draw in everything that we can see. So I'm going to start with the first box on the start. Now, we're told it's a height of 180. If you scale that, that'll be 45. So I can mark off 45 there. That's the box, the first planter stand. Now, there's a gap in between the first box and the second box of 120. If I divide that by 4, that's 30, of course. And the next box is going to be 45 as well, so we might as well mark off that at the same time. So that's the first box, second box. Same thing again for the last one. 30 of a gap in between them. I can put in a heavy finish line there, okay? Now, that's that drawing almost finished, there's a bit of railings going on and they're in dark grey on the back on the 3D isometric drawing that you would be looking at, okay? Now, they're 60 mil, okay? So if we divide that, that would give us a height then of 15 for them, okay? And there's the start at the top of the planter box. Now, you're told in the question as well that they're all 60 by 20, these supporting the framing material. So divide that, that'll give us 5 mil again, 5 mil. 4 into 20 give us 5. So that will be this guy going on here at the back, and he'll be going up 15. Okay. The same the other side. Up 15. And that back rail, there's actually a rail running around it if you look in the 3D sketch as well at the back, okay? So I'm just shading that in quickly there. To represent the rail on the back there, okay? Now, that is pretty much your elevation drawn there. We don't have to do any hidden detail, okay? Now, we can come down, we can do the side view or the plan view first, whichever you want. So maybe for today, we're going to pick the side view first, okay? So I'm setting it up on this side. You can set it up on any side. They're kind of, it's nice that way in the drawing that they don't tell you one specific side to put it on, okay? So I'm going to come in 10 from the edge there, and I'm drawing up this 60-degree line. Actually, I'll leave that for a moment. I'll come back to that. So I'm going to go on now, and we are going, actually I'm going to switch down here. I'm going to do the plan view first here, first of all. So plan view, I'm going to continue on the lines down there, the light construction lines, okay? These guys run almost out to the front, 10 mil in from the front. You're told the gap there of 40. So we'll draw in that line there. Drawing a heavy line here. And same the other side. Sorry, no, that shouldn't have gone down all the way there. This guy will though at the front because of the planter box. And we have this material at the back as well as 5 mil thick. All the frame, the box material is 20 thick, okay, so that's 20 divided by 4 gives us 5 there. So we can put in a line going straight across there. Now I'm going to bring down this point from the top. That's going to give us that line there. And same here, bring down that guy. And that will get the back of the box there, okay? Now, next thing there we're going to do is, first thing I'd probably draw the top planter box because that's the one that's closest to me. I'd actually see the full size of that. Now we know the width from the very front to the very back is 200. So if we divide that, that gives us 40 mil. Or sorry, it gives us 50 mil. So we're dividing everything by 4. 4 into 200 would be 50. Mark it off there. Now that's the outside of it. We still have to take into account the thickness of the wall. So I'm just going to do that lightly for a second. And we need to put in a 5 mil here. So this is the framing out on the sides, but the actual box itself then has walls that when we scale them down will be 5 mil thick. Now that's the top planter box. Now we won't actually be able to see part of the next one, okay, because it'll be in under the second box will be in under the first box. But we know they're the same size. Now it's telling us though when it comes out from the edge, it's 160 mil. So if we divide that by 4, that'll give us out 40 mil. Okay, so that'll be the front of the next box. Bring down the walls. Of course, now it'll be 5 mil thick. There, and of course we're going to have to let down this another bit. Actually, I've made that box a slight bit too short, so coming out another 40 mil now from the front edge there. Down that guy there. Now I actually have to down this guy a bit. 10 mil from the end there, 10 mil of a gap there. The very end. Okay, and that will be the plan view almost finished there. There's a couple of lines here missing, just a little line missing there and there, but we'll have to draw this first of all, the end view, to figure out that. So often it can be the case, folks, that you can do so much of one view, but you might have to move on to another view to find out some piece of information. Okay. So now we'll bring up this guy here. Nearly on, actually, that's why I got kind of stumbled there. I thought there's something wrong because going to 60 degrees would only end up there about. So when I drew out this, I realized I made this a bit short, and now that I've made it wider, it should go right up to the top, okay? So this will be the front of the frame planter box there, and if I come in 10 millimeters, it says 40 in the question, come in 10 when we scale it, and that's more like it now. That should bring us up to the top there. So this will be the closest thing. Always draw the closest things to you first, because that's what you'll see the full version. Other things, bits of them might be hidden behind something. Now we know this is 60 thick, and we scale it as 15. Now make sure you measure off at a right angle. And then we'll put in our second line there. So always draw, when you're in a particular view, what is closest to you first. Okay, so that frame, part of the frame, would be the closest thing to me. The next thing I'm going to go and I am going to draw there is there. I can draw the front box actually now if I want. Okay, so I can take the heights over here from my elevation, and I can bring up this guy. Okay. We know those boxes are 50 mil. Okay, it's given in the question, or they're 200, so that's when you scale it down 50 mil. Okay, some of that we won't see, it's gone behind the framing support. Now I come back to the rails. Well, actually we can do the rails now as well if we want. Bring across the heights of them there. So between looking at the 3D pictorial, you can see the legs are going back in there. Now there is an upright leg as well, which these guys slot into, okay? And that is 440, 440. It's 11 in from the front. So if I count that in, 11 in from the front, and it's going to be 15 thick. All that frame material is 60 by 20, which is 15 by 5 when we scale it. Now that framing material is just going in there then. Later on we have to pick out a suitable joint for this, which we'll come back to. So we'll bring across our heights there for our second planter box now. And down in elevation I have the front of it. So I'll bring it out there. And bring it up. Now we didn't do hidden detail down here, so I'm just going to measure it back this way. 50. And the last one then we're going to put in is the top planter. In front of that we'll get here. Bring it over. Bring it up. Then we can back guy in heavy. And that guy will go right back to the back. Now, one line I was missing a while ago was this point up here, okay? So I only figured out that when I drew in my in view, so I could bring that guy back down and across. It's just a little line, right? It's probably only a mark going for it. But that is it then, folks, okay? So that is my elevation, in view, and the plan. And no matter which view you're looking at, I always recommend you draw the things that are closest to you first, okay? Now, what we've been asked in the question is this rail here, okay? The support and frame rail, and they have called it or in the question. We were to do a sketch in, okay, of a suitable joint for joining that to the leg here. Now, I went with the mortise and tenon, okay, so I drew down my sketch, and when I drew in my mortise, whatever size you do your sketch, I roughly sketched that, so it's a third, the thickness of that is a third, divided into 3, come in a third, it's a third wide, and then come down a third, and I put in a mortise and tenon, and 2 reasons I gave for that. They're simple to mark out, pretty simple, they're pretty simple to make, and they're very strong. It's a tried and tested wood joint over thousands of years, okay? So folks, that's that question there. I hope you found it useful. I'll make one of these videos a week for you and until we're back. So take care, folks. I hope, and we'll see you soon.